All right, we'll bring me the horizon.
And you're watching Heavy Consequence.
Hey, it's Spencer from Heavy Consequence. I'm here with Oli and Matt from Bring Me the Horizon.
All right.
Thanks for being here, guys.
Cheers for having us.
Thank you. Cool. Yeah. And you guys have a really cool headlining tour happening, and you're bringing out some really interesting bands. You got Knock Loose, which are about as hardcore as it gets, and you have Grandson and Sick Brain. Can you talk about, bringing out such an eclectic lineup with you?
Yeah, I guess we wanted to. I think we always want to try and do something a little different with our lineups and not just have bands that sound like us or come from the exact same scene. I think we're in a good place with rock music at the moment where there's a lot of alternative and a lot of different artists coming through. And I think as well, our music kind of over the last couple of years feels like we've got out to a different generation with TikTok and shit like that. So I think we wanted to put together a lineup that kind of was like influenced by our roots and like where we came from and that scene, and also like bring some newer artists out that maybe come from a slightly different scene and just put something together so there's a bit for everyone. And it feels like a really exciting lineup.
Cool. And the most recent single was Strangers, and it has a really cool opening lyric, and I'll read it. Maybe I'll just be fucked up forever. Should have figured myself out by now. A very cool lyric, and it's a pretty powerful opening line. Can you talk about that song from a lyrical standpoint, and maybe you want to talk from like a musical standpoint after?
So this song, we wrote it actually like last year in LA, didn't we? Yeah. And this whole next record is the first record, Post-Human Survival Horrors, was very much like a call to arms. We obviously wrote it in lockdown, and the whole theme of the record was about like what was going on with the pandemic, and kind of was all looking towards the future with a bit of uncertainty and doubt and fear. It was kind of like a call to arms record, where this next record's very much about recovery. And as we're recovering as a society and a planet Earth, it's like I also went through a lot of personal stuff and had to recover in my own way, in a personal way. So I'm trying to make a connection between that, how we recover as a planet and a society, with my own recovery and the steps I kind of made in my own life, and how that actually does speak to a bigger thing. So this song's very much about rehab and getting, kicking drug addiction and stuff. So, and I think, when you get to, I'm like mid-30s now and stuff, and that line kind of speaks to me feeling like, how is this still a problem for me? And I think that song is basically addressing the fact that like sometimes we think we're healed, but we're actually just distracted. And that's exactly what happened for me. Lockdown, I realized, I thought I dealt with all these issues in my life, but actually we were so busy as a band and in my like work life and everything, that when it all stopped, I was like, it all came straight back to the forefront. So it's really dealing with that and realizing that I have a long way to go on my path to recovery. And it's also influenced by things like what's happening in Ukraine and stuff like that. Is we're all just like we're just a room full of strangers, and we're all just looking for that safety. We're all chasing safety. We're all looking for salvation, and the song's about like kind of trying to make people realize that we're all the same, and we've all, whatever struggle, small or large, we're all just looking, we all just want to be safe and happy, and for people to open their mind up to a bit more to that,
Yeah. And Matt, if you want to talk about not only that song, but kind of the musical direction you guys have gone, and obviously you started out deathcore band, then metalcore, and then obviously things have gotten pop. Was that a mutual decision by the band?
I don't think we ever made a decision to just do like, this is what we want to sound like now. I think everything's just been a natural progression. I mean, like you say, the early days we were just kids and we just wanted to make heavy music, so that's what we did. And then you go through life, you experience different things and different interests, and you take that all on board, you know what I mean? So it's just, everything we've done has just been a natural progression on the last thing we've done. So yeah, it's never really been a conscious decision for us to ever change or whatever. That change has just happened naturally because of the people we are. We're progressive people. We like to experiment, try new things, and just be brave with our music and our art, basically. So yeah, that's why things have gone the way they have, and we do it all right. So.
Yeah, you are. And it's crazy to think like next year is the 10th anniversary of Sempiternal, and I feel like that was like a momentous album in your career, in that it introduced you to a newer fan base, but also kind of wrapped up a first chapter, if you will. From there, you kind of started to go more into like a pop direction, but that's the spirit. Can you talk about that album, just because 10 years is coming up, and kind of what it meant to your career in the career arc of Bring Me the Horizon?
It was a bit of a weird one, because well, obviously Jordan joined the band, but before that it was just us, me, Oli, Lee, Matt, a bunch of other guitar players, and but I think we came to a point in our career and our personal lives where we didn't know what was going on. People were going through personal things, and then Oli came out of rehab, and I think we just saw it as like a bit of a fresh start. Jordan came and helped with the writing, and it was apparent that he was doing so much of, like, it involved so much in the writing and things, so we just thought it was like just natural to have him as part of the band, you know what I mean? But I think I think it's my favourite record we've ever done, and just because it's just, like I say, we went through a lot of shit and we came out the other side so much better, like as people, as a band, as friends. So yeah, it was a weird time, because like I say, we didn't know what was going on. We didn't even know if we were going to still be a band, and we came out of it with that record, which I think is the best record we've ever made. Yeah. So, but like, yes, I think it opened up different doors for us to do different things, like That's the Spirit and stuff like that. But yeah, I love that record. It's really good.
It's one of those records that you're like, how did we make it? Do you know what I mean? How did we kind of get out of such a dark place and then straight into something that we're like, we'd have been thankful to have any album. But I think that is it. Like Matt said, it was like a lot of shit were going on, and it was, I think it was, as mad as it sounds, it was actually like a good thing in a way, because I think when you get 10 years into your career, it's easy to start like just like losing focus, or members drift off, someone goes and does a side project, and people just lose a little bit of interest in you. You lose that, and we were definitely going there, and I think just that it got really bad, and then it got good. It just brought us all really close and made us realize, oh, we are all each other's best friends. We're all, we're every, like, we've all we really got in terms of like since we were 16, and me coming out of rehab and being in that bad place, I was like, we just got to make. I need to make the best record ever. I need to put everything I can. I need to learn how to sing. I need to, give it everything for this record. So, and I think we all came together, and we just worked really fucking hard to make a record. And you come out of the side and we're like, I think of some songs like Can You Feel My Heart and stuff. They came together. We had demos that sounded so different to that song, whereas if we released it, they were still nearly released in a certain way. And just at the last minute, we're like, oh, let's just chuck that over the top, and it just changed it. And that album was like that all the way through. It's like, it could have been so different, and everything just came together so perfectly. So yeah, like Matt said, it's a real special one for me as well.